Hey guys. I finally got this live stream working. So, how is it with everybody on this Sunday? Hey Enrique, hey Maxi, and Neighborhood Bricks. If you guys want to ask me anything, just go out and ask me anything you want. Um, how long it takes for me to design a tank, that really depends on it. Generally, I try to get a design done in a month. It can go faster. It really depends on the size and how difficult it is. It generally, um, it does take a while. It does take quite a few hours before I get a model done in the overall. And generally speaking, when I've done within a month, I built first a prototype, then put it in a digital designer, and finally I've built a final model because I generally don't have enough parts to get it done in one go. I did brick production. I recently won Brickmania motorbike from Neighborhood Bricks contest. For rest, I don't have any Brickmania models because I generally find them too expensive, and I'm at this point that I don't need them anymore. Some models are really cool from Brickmania, like the Stuka they recently did, but generally I don't have a lot of models that I want to buy. When I started out, like at this point 5-6 years ago, I was tempted to buy like the Stuk or the M3 Stewart from that time to just get some tracks and learn a few things from it. But I never bought one, and I'm not sure if I'm ever really gonna buy one, or else it needs to be like really good. Hello there, guys. Felix and Nash. Most parts I do get from Bricklink. I buy all my parts pretty much only in the Netherlands because I get the parts the fastest that way because I live in the Netherlands. And I buy parts at conventions, but I generally just look if I see any good bargains or something rare for a good price, because at times stuff at conventions can be really expensive. So at this point, I have a decent knowledge about the parts and how much it would cost. So most Bricklink and a little bit conventions. How much does a model cost you, for example, a small one like the CV? That first off really depends on the color. Like my tan one is much more expensive than my dark bluish gray one. I think how many parts does that have? Let me check LDD for a moment, but I think I can do it for around 30 euros. Buying, well, maybe less. Um, what I'm gonna buy next, of build next. I'm currently busy with buying, building a French cannon, and working on a French tracked vehicle that was used in World War II, but also in World War One. I'm not gonna say specifically what it is because I'm like 100% sure I will finish it anytime soon. But I'm working on a few things. Would you make a multi-turret tank more multi-turreted, like a multi-turret tank like the Russian one? Maybe, but not really interested. Yeah, maybe it's a German one, that new Farzuk tank one. Mm, stop motion. I have done a little bit before. I am somewhat tempted to do stop motion again, but I'm my camera is not that great for it, and I don't really have the patience. Do want to try a little bit with, but don't expect anything big with stop motion. Um, what theater of war do you like, Pacific or European flag? Mostly European. I really like the Battle of France, like from 1940. I'm really currently working on a lot of models again for my French army. I also like a bit of the German. I do want to build some Dutch vehicles from the early part of the war, from 1940, and maybe some Belgium along the way. But I really like the early parts of the war. But I also like the Africa War. I haven't done a lot with it in recent years, but I do really like it, and like places around like Sicily. I just like the look of the locations and the battlefields. So I do like places like that. The Pacific, I haven't done a lot of it. I don't find it that interesting. It does have a lot of potential in looks and so on with the palm trees and whatnot. So, but in overall, I'm not really that interested in it. Do you spray paint parts you don't have the right colors for? No, I don't paint my Lego. If I would paint Legos, would be probably for like helmets for minifigures. But if the part doesn't exist in the right color, I will look for another solution. Do you have any tip for beginning World War II builders? Just keep on building. That's probably the only thing I really can say, because if you look at my Flickr account and go to the early parts of what I have been building, you can really see the progression of my building through the last 5 years. So just keep on building, because you will learn every build. I think at least you will learn something new, and you will learn new techniques that you can reuse, and you will learn the parts better along the way. So if I'm going to build like a Tiger or something else from Germany, I'm probably going to build it in dark gray color, and I know my dark gray colors at this point pretty good, so I already know what I can and cannot do, and if something is expensive to do to an extent. I'm currently really starting up with my French models again and giving them a camo, and those parts I don't know that well which are available and the cost, and I have learned already that it's pretty expensive to do a camo, but I still really like the look. So just keep on building, because yeah. you will learn the most because of that. Do you build all of your tanks into same scale? Yes, my standard scale is scale 135. It took me quite a while to decide which scale I really want to do. I have two 145 scale models here, but that's more for scenes. But 135 is really my scale. I really like the size of it. It gives me the idea that if I put a minifig next to it, it can fit into the tank, and I can give it a bit of functionality. And because I generally tend to build smaller models, I can put more details in those. If I go 145, the small vehicles will be even smaller, and stuff will get a lot harder at that point. Do you have any tips on building tanks or secrets? Not really. I'm just trying out a lot of stuff along the way when I decide I want to do this or that. And if I can't figure it out, I generally put that model aside, put what I have into LDD and save for a later date. I have models. I've done some models like my Lorraine L47. That's a French tracked vehicle. I built one in 2012 or something like that, and I didn't. It was okay, but it was too big and stuff. And along the way, I want to update it, but I never figured out. It took me like 3 years to get back to it and finally figure out to do it in a good scale and size and make it look good. No problem for answering your questions. Could you do some specific stuff? Maybe in the future, but not right now. Are you going to build the CV33L? Let me Google that. Oh, the flame tank. Then I just would need to modify my current model. I have made it at some point, but I can do it again. Wouldn't be that much of a problem, but no, I'm gonna skip that for now. Maybe on a later date. Hello. And are you guys working on anything special at the moment? Which looks scheiße. What? Is that? Yeah, that's German. Okay. Already 10 people watching this? Wow. Felix, yes, I'm working on a big Pacific mock. Okay, awesome. Well, good luck with that. Any specific battle or something you want? Yeah, Pacific battle you're working on? I'm building a Lego Serum from Lord of the Rings. Okay, cool. I never watched Lord of the Rings myself. It didn't really interest me, so I'm not really sure what it is. But good luck building that. Brick production. I'm kind of building my own German/US army at the moment. Also nice. I hope that's getting a bit of shape. My current French army myself has 3 vehicles: small AMR 35 tank, the Renault UA, and the Peugeot 202 in a nice camo. Probably Tijuana. Okay, cool. Me and my bro are working on the Star Wars mark. Still working on the budget. Um, okay, really cool. I think I know what you guys may be working on. Right now, I'm building on a German occupied French port from World War II. Okay, also not really nice. Late war or more early war? Joseph Carls, would you build a British tank like a Matilda because it was used against the German invasion? Um, I still want to do more British stuff. I really love the Matilda 2. 2 years back, I did Matilda 1. That's currently I scrapped it 6 months or so ago for parts. But I would love to do some more British tanks. For the time being, I kind of want to focus on French vehicles, but maybe here and there I will do something like something British or German. Hello, Belgian builder. Are you still alive on YouTube? uh, what do you need to build? You have so much. Um, mm, 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 mm. Do something Belgium again, like an AMC 35, if I'm right. Und- Underport would be from Midwar. Okay, I should look that up. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the ship your brother has been working on. Last two even. Those will be massive. Yeah. But that will cost a lot. And I just made 2 heavy tanks, so... Oh, nice. Which 2 heavy tanks have you been working on? Also, what I really want to do a Markov is the Battle of Dunkirk evacuation, but I don't have any parts for it at the moment. And I don't really have any good budget to really get started on that, because the movie is coming out this year. I am going to watch that, but I really would love to do a Dunkirk mark, at least at some point. Uh, it's sad because I want to build something World War II from my country, because I live in Sweden. Well, Sweden does have vehicles that were used during World War II, like some of the BT variants. What is it? The BT 42 or something, and you have German Stugs that you guys used. There are vehicles. Yeah, Joe, I know. I've seen the size of I know how much it will cost. Hey, Brick Move. I'm running out of tracks though. I know your pain. Last few years I've been buying in tracks like nobody's business. I have a few thousand at this point, and because I destroyed a lot of tanks recently or a while ago, I have a lot of tracks that I can reuse at the moment, and they are expensive at the same time. And I don't think Brickmania tracks are that good to use for every single vehicle, because they don't look as good, but they are handy for American and some German vehicles. German builder, I have a Belgian builder. All right, that might be something I can do. Don't worry. One day I will come back to YouTube and make reviews of my mods. Now that would be awesome, Jeff. What's your favorite tank that you have built and in real life? My favorite tank that I have built. Oh, that's a hard one. Well, It's got to be my bridge layer that I did last year, or something like my Charb one, because I really like to look at that. And my favorite tank in real life should be, I think, the Matilda 2 or the Panther tank. And I seen the Panther tank a few years ago in real life for the first time, and that thing is awesome to look at. Are you from the Netherlands? Yes, I am. Ik kan Nederlands spreken hoor, voor alle Nederlands luisteren op dit moment. Did the Netherlands have any own vehicles? We did have vehicles. We have several armored cars. Those are actually pretty tricky to make, but I have a few that I would really like to build. We also had 5 Grand Lloyd carriers or tankettes with machine guns. I have built one before, but the design goes way back, like 3 to 4 years at least, and that really needs to be updated. And we did have like in the pre-war time we had like at some point 2 Renault FT17s, but at the moment the war broke out, I think one was sold at that point, and other was at military base, and the engine was removed, so that was pretty much bunker on some tracks. So we didn't have like any tanks or at the war when the war started, but we also have like because the Dutch had like colonies, or like what is it? Don't know but we had more tracked vehicles in the Pacific, like small Vickers tanks, some American tanks, and the army was a little bit better when the Japanese came to invade. So we did set some vehicles that are maybe interesting to be made. Will you have a contest for your 1,000 subs? No, I'm not going to do a contest because I'm currently without a job, so I'm not making any money. The little money that I am going to spend on Lego will be for myself. At the same time, I'm not really interested in hosting a contest this soon anyway, maybe in a far future, but contest in the foreseeable future is something that's not going to happen. At the same time, I'm giving out free instruction videos, so I'm giving free stuff away at that point, so I don't really see the need. Because will I give a contest at some point? Maybe. Will it be now? No. Brick move. I'm always wondering if people from the Netherlands understand German. I can understand German to a small extent. I had some German classes when I was in high school. I can talk with very, very little. I can do a few basic sentences, but at this point it has been so long, I'm probably gonna fuck that up anyway. I can understand it. I do need to listen very closely, and if you're probably talk too fast, I can understand that my English is better at that point, and I would love to learn French at some point. Good, because I wrote an email to Bricky so in German. Bricky Simo, I think they can understand German well because they are at least standing in at German events. Maybe English is better, but I don't know. Didn't we had Vickers Commercial Dutchman? I'm not sure because I don't really know the production year, but I think that was made right before the war. That was at least shipped to to Dutch in the Pacific, I think, or they were about to ship it when the war started, and they didn't ship anymore. I'm not completely sure on that bit of history, but I do think the name comes from why it's called the Commercial Dutchman. I think it was designed for the Dutch at some point, but I'm not sure, so don't pin me down on that. Would you like to make a Hetzer or a Stormgeschütz? Or what about the Storm Tiger? I already made Stoke 3 my Gulson Panzer one in the bright red. Hetzer is a tricky one to build and is later in the war, and I don't really have a lot of interest. I rather make an early war Panzer 38T. Sturmgeschütz is a cool looking vehicle, but don't know. Maybe in the future. I have such a long to-do list myself of vehicles. That's not like a list of 10 things I want to do. I have like a list of 100 things I at least want to build myself. So I'm just gonna focus on that. Hey guys, will I do 100 subs contest? No. Do you like meatballs? Yes. Do you have Instagram? No, I don't have Instagram. I have a Flickr account. Why do people keep asking me about an Instagram? No, maybe at some point, but no. Streams with not many viewers are much cooler because he answers every single question. Yeah, because I can keep up with the chat. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far, and I hope my English is good enough. Yeah, but it's quite well. No, I mean, I will do a contest. Oh, that's cool. Because Instagram is much nicer. Yeah, I'm not sure. I first need to make an Instagram account and figure out if it's much nicer. Yeah, but when I got online for the first time, I joined the Flickr community, and I've been there for. Well, I've been looking at it from 2010 or something like that, 7 years ago now, and I joined in 2011. So everybody I know as a World War II builder, I know from there pretty much, and I'm getting to know you guys better here at this point. Are you going to show any of your builds like in this live stream? I don't really have a camera, then you guys can see my face. I don't mind. But what do you guys want to see if I show off any of my builds now? Have you built ever other tanks apart from World War II that you enjoy? Not really at the moment. Like Lego Temps I really enjoy are like the old adventure series. That was one of the original series I got into. I really just love it, like the adventure thing and the whole desert thing in general. That's why I also like the Desert Warfare of World War II, stuff like that. I also really like the Lego trains, the more expensive one. I've like the Santa Fe, Emerald Knight, that orange one. I have another older one. But in general, I'm just really like World War II. I like that era. I also like stuff from the 1930s. One thing I want to get into more is like building aircraft, just commercial aircraft from the 1930s, because I have a few that I really would love to do, but at the same time, they're really big, and I'm not really a plane builder. I still need to learn a thing or two. So I have other things that I want to do, but I'm currently busy with I know. Also, I'm currently starting to building more marks. So I'm also like buying in parts for building houses and landscapes, because I have a little bit of parts for it, but not a lot. My mocks are the one I recently uploaded is like the biggest I can go, and I'm pretty much out of everything that's useful. Um, it's a difficult language. What, French or Dutch? Yes, French is pretty difficult because I looked like this week a few up about how you pronounce letters, and some I go, okay, that's the same, and some are really different when you just pronounce the letter alone. Did you bought your French shoulders from Brickisome? Yes, I bought them for last year at Hardenberg. Only free, and I'm now regretting it because I'm working on my French army again, and the normal French shoulders are sold out. So I actually want to contact Brickisimo and see if they have anything left for like Hardenberg, so I can buy more. On Instagram, you have a lot of bots, but your things reach much more people. I don't know. My photos generally get like a 1,000 to 2,000 views on Flickr in like a week. I have photos that have nearly 40,000 views. That's a lot. Who is your favorite YouTuber? I have a few. My oldest favorite YouTuber is the Mighty Jingles. Back in 2012 or something like that, I started to watch him. In 2013, I was sick for a pretty long time, and I watched his video every day. Other YouTuber I really like is Jacksepticeye. I have been subscribed to him also for a long time when he was still in his wood cabin, and for the first 2 years, I was watching pretty much every video of him daily, and now it's a little bit more off and on, but I still really enjoy his stuff. Those two YouTubers are like my favorite YouTubers. Italian stuff. I do like Italian vehicles, like the C-Fields and some of the Italian tanks and tank destroyers or mobile gun platforms. I might need to build a few in the future again. Yeah, I know that your brother has a Santa Fe and bought like 4 Emerald Knights for pieces. Do you have any suggestions for to build water for a port? Well, yeah, there are a few ways you can do. Some people just buy a lot of those round plates that are like trans blue, that lights trans blue, and they just build up edges around the mark and fill it with that. That's a pretty cool look. You can do something like bricks laying on the side or something with plates. The round plates, those are pretty cheap to do. I think those are like 1 cent new or something. So you can buy a lot for not a lot of money. English and French. English, I never found it hard, but part of me, I've been gaming for a long time. Like I was 10, I already had like GTA and San Andreas when I was 10, and a lot of English from that. In school, at some point, I had German and English classes, and a lot of people were like, English is a lot harder, but I found it a lot easier. I'm also at that point I'm dyslexic, and some of the German stuff with I used to write that stuff down. I find it a lot harder. French, I still need to figure out if that's hard because I haven't really been busy with that. I hope all of you watch my M&H. Hey, no self-promotion. I think I've seen a few of your videos at that point, but the chat is going hard at this point. French is very nitpicky. Okay. Would you make a flag Panzer? I have a Panzer 4, so converting that to a flag Panzer shouldn't be too hard. I talked to Garrett from Minifig Company, and he said he's making. Ooh, that's awesome! That's awesome. I'm shame I don't have a credit card, and I still need to make PAL Pay account, so but his designs are awesome. I would love to buy a few from him if when I get out. Mm, all hail or yeah. I don't hope I end up in the salt mines. Go watch Bowtime Gaming. Maybe. Uh, got to go by. Well, by Felix. I think he's back already gone. Why is the live stream called? I think I got it because for the last few days I've been messing around with it, with this live stream functions, and I've downloaded OBS and was working with that, but that was what all lag and whatnot. And I was messing around with it some more yesterday, and I found out that Google Hangouts somehow does work. This does not give me any lag so far because I'm apparently answering all your questions, and you guys can follow it fine. So this is the way to go for me at the moment because my internet connection is shit. I like your accent. Yeah, one thing with Dutch accents is it's like if you have it like a German speaks English, that's you can really notice it in like French and so on. And with Dutch, it does. At this point, I can notice when someone is Dutch, but I don't really can say that if it's something really specific, like an accent. I learned my English by watching the YogaCast and playing Company of Heroes, playing a lot of GTA San Andreas was it for me, and along the way more games. Where did you get that torso on from your profile photo? That's an Indiana Jones toss. That's like the one with the temple chase and the red airplane. I forget the name of the guy. It's from the first Indiana Jones movie, and like the first 10 or 15 minutes when they are getting the first treasure. That guy that betrays in the first part. Everybody says German is really difficult. I'm happy that I'm a native speaker. Well, I'm not. It's probably not the most difficult, but it has a few things that's going. But I think that's for every language. If I restart working towards learning French, I'm gonna think find a few things and say this is pretty hard. But I think that's for every language. Yeah, I would want to buy a minifig company French because I'm working on Battle of France Mark. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing to find a project because I really like the designs minifig company make because they really have. I really like the style they do. Any more instruction videos? I am planning on doing my Panzer 4. I recently modified it, made a few things a bit sturdier, and my current model, when I originally made it in Lego Digital Designer, I made it with a gray and dark gray and black in it because I have a camo in my model that is old dark gray and new dark gray. So I already worked it out. So I fixed that. So I want to do the Panzer 4, but there is one video I actually want to do before that, and that's like a Q&A video on instruction videos, because a lot of questions have been asked the last year or so about stuff like sharing files, parts list, some things I want to talk about myself. I'm not going into that myself here, but there are a few things I really want to talk about because when I first started doing instruction videos, there were like 100 to maybe 200 people here, and at this point we're really getting close to 1,000, and more people are finding this channel. And it's there are stuff that I never really gotten into. Say, okay, I'm gonna do this because of this reason, or there are just things I never addressed so far, and I really need to address those before I want to continue making more instruction videos. But I want to do some more, but I'm also kind of running out of models at the moment. I have like my Pencil 4 that I want to do. Some models are too difficult for a digital designer and are too massive to do like my old style, and that takes too long. I'm not going to do that anymore. So like something like my bridge layers are off limits. So I have my Pencil 4. I don't think I've done my AMR 35, so maybe I'm going to do that. And at that point, I'm through most of my World War II models, and some models I also don't do because they're not that sturdy for everybody. They are sturdy enough for me, but they're a bit fragile for maybe most people. My God, the chat is really going fast at this point. Where was I? I already did that. Oh yeah, here. Hi, Lego Bayonet. The countries with better English accents are Portugal and Swedish. Yes, Portugal. A good friend of my, Lego Eng, is also a Lego builder, and he's Portuguese, and I love his accent. I have said to him before he should do YouTube videos because his English is good to start with. He just has that way of talking that I really enjoyed. That way his voice sounds has something typical English also to it, but yeah, but then Portuguese. Swedish, I don't know that how those sound well English speaking. Can you read this? Hallo, mijn naam is Rebla und ich baue Lego. Lego 2 Weltkriegsmarks. Something like this? Isn't that the little kids doesn't know? That's not. I forgot his name. I actually last year on. I actually went with that actor that played the little kid in the Temple of Doom last year at Comic-Con, because we were me and a few other builders were staying at Comic-Con, and that was our payment, that we could go on a photo with one of the actors that was there. Short Round. It was Short Round. I went on the photo with Short Round. He's still not very tall, but a lot older now. I'm building an AMC 30. AMC. Oh. Let me. You mean AMC 35? What scale do I build at? I said before a while ago, but scale 135. I am going to do. Oh. Are you going to do any landscaping tutorials? Because I have a lot of problems with my. Yeah, I've been thinking about this. Should I do like small tutorials, like building chairs and like radios? That's not like in proper instruction video, but more like me building and talking. I've been thinking about it, but I'm not sure. It's just I personally just would look at some builders you really, really like. Maybe that's me. Maybe someone like Neighborhood Bricks or the German builder here on YouTube. But or like people on Flickr, there are a lot of people you can draw inspiration off. In my idea, that's how I generally work. If you see something I like, it really just try to look at it good and understand the parts that they used. I'm currently working on an Assassin's Creed 4 animation. Do you play Black Flag? I have. How many hours do I have that? Let me check Steam. I ha- I have over 180 hours on Black Flag alone. So I love that game. I have played this. I've played it now like 4 playthroughs. I've did it. I love some of the Assassin's Creed. I love Black Flag is probably my favorite. Assassin's Creed 2 closely after that. 10 Brotherhood, and also have Syndicate, the newest one, but my laptop can't run it properly. It's story-wise, that one is okay. I just love the look of the London thing, but my computer, I'm running that one on minimum settings. I really need another computer for that. I hope to build the coming year or so to build my own gaming PC for the first time. I've never done something like that, but I really want to build my own PC, the next one I get. So if I have a better PC, I'm gonna play it again. And I think it will look amazing. Story-wise, okay, but favorite Assassin's Creed are Black Flag and 2. I'm doing absolutely nothing. I need some money for my... Okay, slow down, everybody. Don't worry too much about it. Yeah, that's your brother, I know. Subscribe to everyone in the chat. Well, great for you. The post-British accent. Lel. I'm working on a stop motion of the Portuguese Canal War and the Battle of Ringo. Okay, cool. Lol, short round. Okay, yeah, I still want to build one myself. But yeah, that's a pretty cool tank. Hey, Rebla, are you going to have a contest for 1,000 subs? No, I am not. I see you also like Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. I finished it. It's okay. It's I nearly when I played Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway for the first time. If you have played, you will probably remember the hospital level. I nearly had a heart attack at one point because at one point I was at the time I was playing, it was getting dark. I was sitting in a dark room all alone at home, and I was just like the middle bit, and because the guy you play, Matthew, what is his name, Baker, has at that point like PTSD, and he is being seeing stuff. And at one point, I'm walking between 2 walls, and I wasn't expecting it, but at some point I was seeing like something I need to go to through a wall in the hall, and this ghost jumps in front of me, and I literally felt my heart jump. I literally felt like pain in my chest, and that really freaked me out. That was really a good jump scare, but at that point I was really scared of that level. That was also quite a few years ago, but first thing I need to do was I paused the game and just had to sit down and get my breath, because I actually it really did hurt. The rest of the level was quite scary to play at that point, but it wasn't that bad afterwards. But that really isn't my favorite level to replay. The rest of the game, it's okay, it's not bad. But the problem is some levels aren't very Dutch. If you play it as a Dutchman, it's I'm sure that's for like more games if you come from that place. Like some levels, like some of the houses were made. One of the early levels, there's like a farm you go into, and there's like this veranda, porch, and that style is not Dutch. It's just not a Dutch look. So some things are not as Dutch as they can be. Stuff I do really like about something like that is that like the kid you encounter speaks like proper Dutch. They got a Dutch boy to speak those lines. So there are some stuff that's well thought out, but there's some things that just break the immersion, and there are some other like stuff like some of the signs how they used like the letter type they used there is like not representative of how it was at the time. It's like a very modern thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's one of the things I personally notice. The mini scaler. What? No. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a contest. Whoa, I'm caught up with the chat. Woohoo! I have to go for a minute. Well, okay, I'm not leaving anytime soon. I have a huge problem building a tank. I never really finished a good one. Any tips of getting started? Stupid aircraft, shut up. First off, what tank are you building? May I ask? First off, if it's a more common tank, I would first off just say go look around and see how other people do it. I generally like to build vehicles that aren't really done that much or haven't done before. So, oh, brick production. Okay, bye. But I generally like to do vehicles that haven't been done before. So I'm generally all on my own figuring stuff out. But if it's like a more common vehicle, like a Pens 4, there are a lot of examples, like in scales, or even in scales, like in 145 or 135. But if first thing is like if you want to get good at building, just keep on building, because you don't get good in over one night. It's a constant learning process. I also am. That's all. Same goes for me. Every vehicle that I do, I will learn something new or use techniques I used before. I will learn to use parts in a new way. New parts come out over time. Vehicles that I'm doing now, I could not have built 5 years ago the way I'm doing now, because the parts simply did not exist. So just keep on trying. If I don't get a vehicle right the first time, I generally save it in LDD and wait for a good time to finish, or when I have new inspiration. This for some others, for me, they did take like 2 years. It can take a half a year, but I've noticed that it took me 3 years to actually finish, because parts aren't there. I didn't see how I could do it another way. So sometimes it takes time, but just keep on trying. Sometimes you need to try something else, look at it from a different way, because there's so many ways you can go. I built that's one of the French World War tanks, right? But that one is pretty cool. Brothers in Arms needs a sequel. Yeah, it does need a sequel. I think I have heard some rumors recently again, but I'm not sure about the sequel. Going to the Battle of Bots would be awesome with Brothers in Arms. But yeah, it does need a sequel. It does need the Battle of the Balls to properly finish, I think, because it did tease it. But yeah, we only can wait and see. But I think if they do it now, because it's been nearly 10 years, because Brothers in Arms last one came out in 2008. I think if they do it now, I think it will look amazing. Do you have any tips on building vehicles in a smaller scale? If you do something like scale 45. It's not so much about the detail, but the general look. You need to get the general look right. So you need to get. That's how I look at least. If you go bigger, you can get a lot of functionality and whatnot, and all the little details. But you need to get to outstanding details like how the track setup is done and the overall turret shape. You need to get the bigger details right. So that's how I would look at it. I would like to build a Renault R35. I have an instruction video on it on this channel. So nothing is stopping you. And Brickmania also recently released one. And the Brickmania one, it's this one. Brickmania at that point is one of those things. It's either a hit or miss. Something like the Stuka, they recently did love it. The R35, it's okay. I don't. Some parts are really smart, like how the driver can in and out, and also like that the hatch of the driver can really flip out, and that there is a crew compartment in it. I really like that, but like the track setup, it's a little bit eh. But there are some things, but at the same time, that's Brickmania is a company. At the end of the day, they need to make something that they can produce in a number of 50 or 100 and to make money off it. So they really look at models in a different way because they have like at this point several people working there. So they need to be paid. They need to buy the parts and whatnot, and then they need to sell it. So that will give a kit for X amount of money, and that also within that budget of making a model, that also only allows them to use certain parts that are now in production or are in easy to get by. So there's when I look at Brickmania mods, I understand because they need to make some sacrifice in the model to get it at the price that it is, and it is expensive. And I know why it is expensive, and I don't mind it. Brickmania models are not for me at that point, but they are for certain people, or they wouldn't be that big they are now. So it's like good for them because they now have something that's not. They've really built up a company at this point. Oh, buy war bricks. I like the whole of their R45, but turret back is awful. Debatable. Like my turret of the R35, Lego Ang was nice enough to let me use it because I like the overall look of it. The turret does not open. The turret of theirs opens, so it's the question over functionality over looks, and I went for a bit of functionality. So yeah, it's maybe not the best looking, but it's functional. It looks a lot like it, so yeah. Joe, I would recommend buying the other two for PC as well, because I do think the graphics holds up very well, and very well, and I like the gameplay maybe a little bit more. Hell's Highway is not bad at any imagination, but like the older two are those have those classic games looks. Same if you play like the original Call of Duty. It's just really old school at this point, but it has a specific look that I really like about it. And if you play like something like Call of Duty 2, that's like a step up. That the graphics are a little bit different, and it's not bad looking. It looks better than the original. But if I would choose between the both, I would somewhat jump to the other one. Nash, okay, bye. Last time I want to make where we were two battle of friendships, and I wanted to ask you if you can send me. The char is at this point scrapped. if I'm, I am planning on redoing it this year. As I just want to update a few things on like the turret. The turret at the time was okay. It was good enough, but not quite there. And the camo was a little bit too wide. And the camo at the time I went with the camo. I thought, well, okay, this is pretty cool, and it worked for the char. But like my alien Mars from the time, it did not work that great. So the AMR is already updated, and the char I want to update it this year. I also already decided that I'm going to use the Brickmania tracks for this one because it gives me a bit more room to make it smaller and whatnot. But the Battle of Italy is also a pretty cool battle to do. But no, I'm not going to send out any of my models for any of you for stop motion film. At this point, I have enough instruction videos on my French models that you can build your own. Maybe I buy some. I also want to get Hearts of Iron for. I can't remember what that game is about. Would you ever consider building a Matilda 2 or a Parrot armor car? Yes, on both. When? I don't know. Matilda 2. And yeah, I have been, because I'm building up my French army, I have been considering doing the Parrot at the moment, but I'm already working on like 3 other French vehicles at the moment, so I'm going to wait on that for now. But they are on my to-do list. Both are relatively high on my to-do list. I have a lot more vehicles on my to-do list that are a lot low, but these are pretty high. If I get the chance to do it, I will. And I'm caught up with the chat again. Hello. The World War II game where you can be every country you want. The game has also tons of mods. Okay, I think I know what you mean. I'm not too big into strategy games. You know what you should build for the Battle of France? A B-52? Yeah, right. I'd rather build a Stuka or a Ju-88 or something, or a Spitfire 10. Short question. Every country has a event that they don't like to talk about. In Germany, it's the Holocaust. What is it in the Netherlands? I think what would it be for the Netherlands? I think like the VOC, like the slave trade. I don't think that would be our finest moment, because our golden age was built. I'm not. Don't pin me down on this. I'm not really good with my history from that part of the Netherlands, but our golden age was around that time with the slave trade and whatnot. But we do get like lessons about it and whatnot, and how people are transported at the time. So maybe not our finest moment, but in history, but it's not. I can't say we have anything that is really looked down upon, or we are trying to wipe away. Are you hyped for Call of Duty World War II? Yes, I only have like the Call of Duty 1, the expansion pack, which is amazing, a little bit better than the original, and Call of Duty 2. I don't have any others. But I'm really looking for at this one because it looks good, I think, so far. But my computer that I currently have can't run it. If I want to play it, I first need to have a new computer, or else it will be crap. So I rather go into that with a new computer. At the same time, I'm not a multiplayer guy because, like I said, my internet is not that great. So it needs to have a good single play. That's like something like Battlefield 1. First off, my computer can't run it at the moment, and the single player, I've seen parts of it, and I've understand it's okay. It's not like fantastic, but it's okay. And it has large multiplayer. That's something that I'm not really interested in. So if something like that, if it's more focused on the multiplayer, it does have a single player, more multiplayer. I will buy it in a much later date when it's on a Steam sale or something like that. But I am looking forward for Call of Duty World War II. I'm really interested in seeing how it will look, and of what a little bit I've saw, it won't look bad at least. Stukas can't carry 40 nuclear bombs on it. Well, I'm not really in the mood to drop nuclear bombs anyway. Rebla, do you know Lucas and Steven? A little bit. Don't think I've them added on Skype or anything, but I know their work, if I'm right. Well, you talk about the Dutch and the slave trade. I thought Portugal had the slave trade monopoly, but we were the first to abolish slavery. I think Dutch was pretty late with abolishing slavery. I know you guys were first in this to are one of the first who started it, I think. But yeah, you guys were also pretty big on the colonies at the time. I think Joe likes playing games. I think so, yes, when I look at him playing Steam at times. Battlefield 1 is better. I don't know because I have not played it. I only know what I have heard. It's not a bad game so far, I know, but it's not amazing, I think. Or like, it's probably not, yeah. I'm not gonna finish that sentence, but I will comment on that when I have played. Let me put it like that, and I can say if I enjoyed it or not. I have Call of Duty 1 and 2 and Black Ops on the Wii. I World at War. Okay, cool. A few days ago, I realized I had no live. I counted up my World War 1, World War 2, and more and it got up to 59. Not too bad. You don't want to know how much time I spent building Lego. I don't have much of a personal life also at times. Brick move, indeed. I also like Lego, but I don't have space for my Lego. I really want to make a city. I have my own Lego room. I'm sitting in it right now. Yay! I do have room for some stuff, but not a lot. I have a few planks to put up on all my models, and I have a really big building table and a secondary one, which is pretty nice. And a small desk where I have my second screen on and my laptop now, which I'm sitting in front of. I'm not sure, but I think Germany never really had a lot of slaves because, so far I know, Germany was not really country that had a lot of colonies. I think a few, but not. Much. It was pretty much Portugal, Spain, the UK, and the Netherlands, and maybe another few, but it were like the big ones so far I know. And because we were so close to open sea and whatnot, it was really easy to travel the world. I built your R35. It looks awesome. Don't worry if I display it. I will definitely give credit. I don't really care too much about credit. It's nice if I get it. But hey, I really hope you enjoyed building it. And did you give it a camera or did you just give it went with a gray color? When we are okay in college. When we wanted to connect Mozambique and Angola, England made an ultimatum, which is very nice. Okay. My hobbies personally include sleeping, Lego, sports, firearms, America. My hobbies are building Lego, gaming, watching, still kind of watching TV. It's more YouTube at this point, and watching anime and reading manga. Manga before anime at that point. I read way too much manga at times. Maybe I should leave the stream. I still have a lot of homework to do, but the stream makes it so much fun. I would say do your homework. I don't mind you having here, but just don't get a failing grade on my behalf. I noticed the lack of America, very disappointing. I think most of the well, it's like just 5 o'clock here in the Netherlands, so not a lot of America still at sleep or very early in the day. So I think at least how the time clock work. I need early in the day, so maybe they're doing other stuff. I gave it a light gray color because I'm using it for captured Romanian. So they didn't really. Yeah, it's about. I need to remove like 7 to 8 hours. Just depends on which part of America you live. So yeah, middle of the day for some. But okay, yeah, I don't think the Romanians used a lot of cool colors. On Portugal, if you don't do the homework, no one cares. Everybody cares. Yeah, it's important. It really depended on the teacher. Some really went and picked up when I went to high school. Some of my math teachers really were like picked out like 3 to 4 people every time we had class, and they checked to see if they did it, and they would get a mark if they did it or not. So it really depended on the teacher. And in college, well, you needed to make it to learn it pretty much, but we weren't like at that point. It really was like you're sitting here for your own. So best of luck if you want to graduate. We had one teacher in college that he was good. He did also a lot of other stuff at the side still, but we have lag. But he did a lot of stuff side, but he gave pretty interesting lessons. And when he had tests, okay, everybody, get your laptop or papers and write down the following, because these are going to be all the answers for the test. He gave us all the questions for the test, and the only thing I really want to do is you guys need to figure out those questions, and good luck. So we all figured out together, okay, this is that, and this is that. The next week we would have a test, and we just would fill in the questions. I would still forget a few, but generally nobody failed because we already knew what we were going to get. And I should start sending you a lot of legal files and them to you. That would be fun for you to explain. Not that much. Yeah, Germany and the Dutch have the same time zone, if I'm right. Here it is. Yeah, I know you're running an hour behind on us, Joe. You're really good in streaming. I also sometimes stream and sometimes have problems finding topic to talk about. You stream? Okay. Also, this is my first like proper stream. I just started, and like the first 2 minutes I was Is gonna anybody going to join? Because I have nothing to talk about. I just go ask me a question and I will answer. So it's not as much I'm good at it. You guys just ask enough. You kind of sound like my cousin when he speaks English. Okay, and your cousin is what, Dutch or? Oh, he's from Hungary. My substitute math teacher had us copy the book to sorry, had us copy the book that are our notebooks. We did that for 2 weeks, and then we had our test. Nobody knew the content of the text. I think I'm going to get ammo today. How am I supposed to shoot AR and AK-47? Well, good for you. When you have a similar accent when you speak it. Okay. Thank God we get 300 rounds of ammo for one. Okay. I'm not if that's good value, because we don't. You can get firearms, but you have a lot of rules for that here. It's not like America. I always have the problem in the live stream because I want to speak German in it, but some viewers are from England. Super confusing. Do I mind? Well, I'm not sure if you look at. When I look at my analytics from my account. Most of my viewers, are from America to start with, and some from Russia. Russia is also pretty high. Some from France, England, and Germany. So I already know the majority of my speakers can understand English. So, and that's also how I set up this channel. This is an international channel. The main thing I use is English, so it's international to start with. If I want to, I can switch to Dutch, but I know that everybody that is watching now will probably drop out very fast and it won't be as lot of fun, because some of you, or my most active viewers, are from another country. So English is the most logical choice. But I think for you, Brick Move, maybe moving on to English may be the better thing to do. I'm not sure how good your English is, but you will have the added bonus of you being German, and that's one of those fun accents in English. So it's at least going to be fun in my idea. So maybe give it a try. Do I mind if I ask how old you are? I don't mind at all. I'm 23. I'm pretty old. And if you don't believe me, It's back on. Okay, my mic is back on. So, okay. Um, when I joined, fifth grade, my English teacher was impressed by my English and wanted to know where I landed. I said my brother, and she called me a liar. Well, his English is pretty good, and he's also quite a bit older. So I believe you for one moment. I won't doubt you for one moment. Speak a sentence in Dutch. Moet ik nou echt wat in Nederlands gaan praten? Dat heb ik zo straks ook al gedaan. De helft van jullie begrijpt nu toch niet wat ik zeg, hoor. Nou, hoe is verder jullie zondag? Maar als je het nou niet erg vindt, ik ga eigenlijk weer terug naar Engels. Happy now? What do you think the hardest military model to build land-based? I think one of the German armored cars, like the SDKFZ 222. Yeah, I'm pretty old for being around here, but I don't care. There you are. Yes, I am. Yeah, my mic died. Yes, it did. Hello, welcome back. We are having technical difficulties. Yeah, it's working again. So, yeah, I'm back. I've caught up with the chat again. I'm not going to do that again if it kills my mic. But for everybody that wants to see me, was in luck. Okay, later. For how long have I been chatting? Oh, I'm already over an hour in. I wasn't sure if I could keep it up for over for an hour, but I'm doing quite well. Do you guys want to know anything else, or are we coming to an end at this point? Thanks. Yeah, that was a pretty big build to do. Position overrun. That took me. I actually built it when I started. I had a few of these for it, and I was preparing for an event, and like 4 days before it, I was when like, this is not what I want. The only thing I kept alive was the house, pretty much. I even updated it, but the rest I completely tore down, and started over again. I built this pretty much in 3 days, and the basic at least, and did some detailing afterwards. And after that, I uploaded it. But yeah, the house is pretty nice. I really like some of the wall ads and so on, but and a few other small things. I think the one before that was a little bit more creative, but I do like both, and it's like my second mock of the year and my second mock in a very long time, so I'm really not complaining. And I also figured out that this is the maximum size I can do at the moment, because I don't have enough parts to go any bigger. When will you be doing your next live stream? I don't know when I will be doing the next one. I at least want to do like a proper planned-in one for when the channel reach 1,000 subs. So that's only like 60 subs away. Maybe I will do one next weekend. I have time when I have time at my hands. So it really depends. If you guys want to see more of this, and I'm sure I'm happy to do it. I find it at least fun to do. Um, what is your current project? I have short memory. The mark that I did precision overrun, I've currently stored it away. I'm gonna take it to a Lego event at the end of July in the Netherlands, Hardenberg, my usual one. So maybe for the if you're from Germany, of few of the Dutch people that are maybe watching, if you live close by, you can take a look at that and say hi. After that, I will scrap it and probably start working on another mark or maybe a scene. It's been a while since I did that. Vehicle projects, I have a few French models that I'm working on. Do you have any tips for anyone building a French mark? Yeah, not really. um, just do some proper research. I always look at photos from the time at buildings like cars and stuff and get a bit of a feel for it and build like that. So that house that is, I think, relatively French with the wall ads on the wall and how the windows are done. As for minifigs, it's a shame there are not a lot of French World War II soldiers at the moment. British Humor has one, and so what I've understood is like minifig company is working on a few, so there are going to be more coming. And I have a feeling that from the minifig company, maybe have to do something with the Battle of Dunkirk, of the Dunkirk movie that's coming out, that may be tied into it. So around that time in the summer, it will be released. Me and my friend are doing a collab for the Battle of Arras. Oh, pretty cool. Position Overrun was basically the Western Front in the first 2 years of World War II. I think so. First 2 years, at least for 1 year, maybe 1.5, 2, maybe a lot to say. Yeah, it was pretty accurate, but and after that, it was the other way around, pretty much. For the rest, am I gonna do? You should give your soldier a French flag, to hide one. Oh, that's so me. Oh man. Maybe I will. Maybe I will at some point. Maybe in another mark. And what a shame is, because the problem is with the French army from World War II was it was not a bad army. Like it had more tanks than Germany. It had better, well-armed tanks. They had a combination of not the great things like your AMRs, like the armored machine guns, but you also had like your Charlie 1s, your Somas, your R45, which were pretty good tanks. But the whole thing was with the French was they were still really expecting another World War One, and Germany was had prepared the Blitzkrieg and whatnot, and that was the better tactic to just overrun and like stuff like. Also, all the French positions think they just did a few tanks here and there, and the German pushed all their tanks in one massive forge, which was the Blitzkrieg, and like French tanks had only one-man turrets, which was also a problem. And one of offensive of the German tanks at the time was every German tank had a radio, so the communication was really good. Crews were well trained, stuff like that. Germans were just prepared for war, and the French, they didn't have bad equipment, but the battle tactics and the preparation was a lot worse, and that was like the decisive factor. Do you have any upcoming search you're considering doing? No, not really. Maybe when I build some of the models I'm now working on, I'm gonna record them like a speedboat again because I find them fun to do every now and then. For the rest, series, yeah, maybe something like a small tutorial series, which I film in place of like an instruction video, like how I do a chair, how I do like my radio equipment that I showed off in the last 2 marks, something like that. But I'm not sure. Depends on the time and whatnot. The tanks were too slow. Yes and no. Something like a Soma that was a well armored tank, had a good cannon, and was reasonably fast. Something, but it also the same goes for the British tanks. You had like 2 or 3 kinds of tanks. You had your cavalry tank, your infantry tank, and another one. But the French and the British were more or less like the infantry tank. That was at the speed of the infantry, so that tank didn't go fast. Those were well armored and whatnot, and were for the infantry for infantry support. But like something like a cavalry tank, that was fast and highly mobile. That was a completely different tank. Yeah, there were French tanks that were slow. Your RB1 and R45s were slow, but something like a Soma and an RMA45, those were pretty fast, at least as fast as German tanks. So saying they're slow is not really right. Yeah, they weren't expecting the blitz. That was one of the advanced Germans had, and but at the same time, because generally speaking, like the Germans were prepared for blitzkrieg. That whole package, like the Air Force, just the army and the tanks, was complete. French weren't expecting that, but at the same time, if you would put like a Panzer IV or Panzer III against an R45 or RB1 or a Soma, one-on-one, like 500 meters away on either side, I would rather sit in those French tanks, because German tanks at the time were not the tanks they were in the later war, because like the Panzer III had like the 47 millimeter cannon, which is really small. I'm not even, maybe some had the 50 already, but like the 47 was really common. The armament of the protection was also pretty bad, and only so one-on-one, I would rather sit in some of the French tanks than the Germans. And like the same thing with the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV at the time of the Battle of France was the Panzer IV HD, and that was a little bit like the Stuk, its original thing, that was used for soft targets like bunkers and infantry. It was not used for tank-to-tank combat. The armor was only so thick. Later on, they added like in the war they started added on more armor, but at the time it was pretty thin. So a lot of cannons could just penetrate it very well. And the cannon, the Panzer IV had the 75 at the time, but it was a low 75, the short one. It was a low 75 cannon, and I think most, if not all, the ammo they were carrying was HE, and that can't go through armor, or at least not thick armor, and something. So if it would go up against Matilda or HRB1, it would do jack all. Yes, it would hit it, but no. That's why if you read like stuff about the Matilda 2 and the Charby 1 about the battle performance, what they used to kill them were the Stukas and the 88 cannons, because that were the only cannons at the time that were strong enough to punch through the armor. So you also have stuff like that. So in the end, the Germans won, and they won relatively easy. But if you start to look at some of the things like specific vehicles, and if you compare them, one was not highly better than the other at that point. Both had their advantages and weaknesses. Not all French tanks had radios. Older ones did not have. They were still, yeah, like Morse code, but also like flags and signs and stuff. Generally speaking, a lot of times, like the leading vehicle had a radio for higher up. Um, and I'm not sure if they were came to the position that everything had a row, but some stuff just missed radios and stuff, and that is highly in the and that's a disadvantage at the time. I have to go. Hope to see another live stream soon. Goodbye. Yeah. Oh, really? Are you German at that point, or war breaks? Ah, okay. Did he fight through the complete the entire war, or was he only in France? Also in early parts of the war, or more in the later? Just wondering, like Normandy, or more like invading France. Okay, oh, that's pretty cool. My grandparents were too young to fought in the war. We do have like an old World War II toy here from an aircraft that my grandfather made. My one of my grandfathers went a few years later on in the army, and he was at let me look up the English word for it. And he was part of the engineers team. He did like he built like baby bridges, and he was in service when the North Sea flood of 1953 happened. He was active then. He actually saw that. What is your favorite thing to do apart from YouTube? Well, is my favorite thing YouTube to start with. I'm gonna say either like Lego building or reading manga. Ah, hello, Action Brick TV. Hello, you're also German. Well, hello, neighbor. A lot of Germans here, but it is to expected, I think, with the time zone and everything. In the moment I'm streaming, if I'm guessing if I'm streaming later on, more at the early evening, maybe more Americans will join. I think. Don't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to know for the time being, or is it about time to end it? Because can you speak German? Meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Is that any good? No, I live in the US, but I'm from the. Okay, also cool. Can I do any other German sentences? Can't really think of anything. Okay, cool. Because that's, I think, my most basic German sentence that I know if I meet one. No problem. It was a small one to do. That was quite easy to make an instruction video on the Peugeot. What is beautiful, the Peugeot or my German? Hmm. But how long have you been going? For 1 hour and 40 minutes. Holy hell. But yeah, guys, for everybody that's still watching, did you guys so far enjoy me streaming? Is it something you guys would like to see more of? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, yes, it's cool. The stream is amazing. Well, thanks, guys. Glad it's going so well for a first time. But but I think it's about time to end this because the questions are a little bit running out, and I don't really have a lot more to talk about after more than 1.5 hours, and I'm getting a bit hungry. So I think I'm going to end it here, or even or somebody needs to have one more question or something. But I think it's about time to end it, and maybe I'm at least going to do this when I reach 1,000 subscribers. At least maybe in between, maybe next week if I'm bored or something. So yeah, I want to say, what is your upload schedule for videos? Random. I try to do at least once or twice every month, and for the rest, everything after that is bonus. So far, YouTube is still very much a hobby and not my job. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the question answerings for that. So yeah, goodbye, guys, and until the next time, I would say.